Welcome to TTT Boxing in association with IFL TV and KO Clothing. Here with me, I'm joined by Lucas Browne in camp for his WBA World Title fight. Thanks for joining us, Lucas.
Thank you very much, mate.
Good session here with Rodney this morning. Obviously working on your footwork. I know that's been a big thing for yourself and getting more agile. In general, how's camp been going so far? 10 weeks out or so?
Honestly, it's been unreal. We've been at it for over a month now. Like in terms of this fight, so to speak, directly. So obviously, a lot of footwork, trying to get lighter, getting more agile, more movement, angles, all that sort of stuff, which I need. Like I think for a while there, I was sort of plodding along too much and just being just too in front of people to get hit. Obviously, the aim of boxing is to hit and not be hit, sort of thing. So we've got to work on that not being hit part. I can hit anyone, we all know that, but it's also getting into the right angles to be able to hit properly and with balance and all that stuff as well. All
right, excellent. And so with the fight 10 weeks out, what sort of differences in your training camp are we going to see from now until the fight? There'll be a lot more fine tuning, I imagine, and moving into more of that side of things.
The foundations are being laid at the moment, so as I said, a shitload of footwork, basically footwork. But in a couple of weeks, it's going to be a massive amount of sort of just cardio, getting everything to peak condition, and then that'll be probably 8 weeks out. Start all that sort of stuff. So something to look forward to after Christmas.
That's it.
But definitely, it's really going to step up in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Excellent. And last time we caught up was over in Punch Bowl, and so the fight was 99% done. So we also had a quick chat about it, but it's all been done now. It's all been finalised. Contracts have been signed. So how does it feel to have been chasing this fight for so long? We've spoken about it for at least a year.
That's right.
So how does it feel to finally have that in front of you, to have that contract signed, and you know that you've got your World Heavyweight Title shot?
It's good because all the talk was always going to be 2015 was going to be my year, and big year for me and all that sort of stuff. And basically, all that came out of it was one fight with Julius Long and a broken hand. Yeah, that was it. So, in all honesty, it was a very disappointing year from that aspect. I could have had 4 or 5 more fights, whether they were the better quality or not doesn't matter. I could have been active. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Hatton has come through with everything he said that he was going to do, or Hatton team. So it is signed, it is real. I do have a chance to make history, and it's all here. So it's now up to me. So all the bitching's done, everything's water under the bridge sort of thing, and it's up to me to do the job.
That's it. Fighters can have frustrating years, and I know that you say last year was obviously very frustrating for yourself, but. I think we spoke a few months ago, and you were considering moving back out to Perth and moving away from Sydney, but that's obviously been put on halt now that you're working with Rodney and with Nigel Benn here. So how was that team, first of all? Working with Nigel Benn, working with Rodney Williams, how has that been for yourself so far?
It's excellent, honestly. You've got Rodney, who's Mr. Cool, Calm and Collective, just Mr. Chill. It's like Snoop Dogg. I like to sort of refer to, which is excellent for me because I need a calming aspect. My mind's always going 100 miles an hour, all that sort of stuff. So we talk while we do everything we're doing and why we're doing it and all this sort of stuff, and it really helps me, mentally as well as physically. Nigel will come in and put the music on 10 and talk on a 12. You know what I mean? That's the way Nigel is. So he'll come in and it's a totally different aspect. It's he's the ultimate cheerleader, so to speak. Choice for a better word, but he comes in and really puts some energy into the place and really sort of gets you going. So with the experience that he also brings, you listen to everything he says because he's been there and done that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so talk about that experience, and a man who's travelled around the world, fought for world title fights before, so got that in his locker. And very uncharted ground for yourself, travelling to Grozny in Chechnya, one of the most bizarre places for a world heavyweight title fight that I've seen for a while. It's going to be very hard for fans to get out there. So obviously, little things like this bring it closer to the fans as much as possible. But what are your thoughts on going to fight somewhere that's certainly at least slightly left of centre from the usual sort of boxing venues?
In regards to the fight itself, no matter what, wherever I go, whether UK, I've been to Hong Kong, I've been all over the place, I don't see much of the place while I'm there anyway, because I'm in fight mode, as I call it. And then generally, if you fight the Saturday night, you come home on the Sunday, so you don't get to see anything after anyway. So in all honesty, from my point of view, it's just another day at the office. I'll get there, I'll be in the hotel working with Rodney until the fight, doing some press, doing this, that and the other, fight, and then I'll probably be going home the next day. So
with the belt.
In all honesty, I won't be seeing much with the belt, of course, yes.
Excellent. And so since we last spoke as well, there's been a lot going on in the heavyweight division. It seems to have just absolutely exploded in the last 6-7 weeks. Tyson Fury, I know we picked Klitschko when we spoke last time, but he proved us all wrong.
Well done, Tyson, exactly.
Fantastic performance there, and nullified someone who's been champion for a decade. So
that's right.
What were your thoughts on that? I know you had a keen eye on that fight, and I think for you, Tyson Fury winning was probably the best result.
I thought that Klitschko was definitely going to get in the later rounds. I believe I said that last time. But yeah, Tyson he backed up everything he said. You can say that he's a shit talker and he's got a big mouth and everything he's got, but he backed up everything he said. You know what I mean? So you can't fault him for that. Well done, beautiful performance. There was no knockouts or anything like that. I'm sure everyone wants to see the knockouts and stuff, but he did exactly what he needed to do. Got the belts and well done to him. So yeah, I'm ecstatic for that, because if you look at anyone across the board for the heavyweight division, the person that I would be most worried about would be Klitschko.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about anyone else, really, in all honesty. So I'm wrapped. Yeah, I'm stoked with all that. It's awesome.
And what do you make of the bravado that went around the fight, before the fight, with the issue with the gloves, the issue with Klitschko doing his hand wraps behind closed doors, the foam ring, all these things that sort of played against Fury, and obviously his team sort of fought against those fairly well. But what are your thoughts on that kind of skullduggery that goes on behind the scenes, and you've got a fight away from home, with potentially questionable ethics going on in the background as well. So how do you sort of look at what they've done there? And
well, unfortunately, it's boxing. I think it's always happened. You look at someone like a Don King or something like that, he would have done that without a doubt, 100%. I think it was also Klitschko's way of getting back at Tyson for being smart-ass the entire time. Turned up to a press conference in Batman uniform, like, who does that? Obviously Tyson Fury does, but at the same time it was Klitschko's show, so Klitschko did what he needed to do to sort of try and get into his mind as well. So I think it was very smart from Klitschko's point of view. Obviously it didn't work, but he was playing the game at the same time.
Oh, and so we won't be seeing any superhero antics from yourself at press conferences in the near future?
No, there's no need for me to wear a uniform. You know what I mean? It's all right here to see, so there's no need at all.
Excellent. And just quickly, while we're still on Tyson Fury, you obviously released your Christmas single the other day. Fury is also known for his post-fight singing and press conferences and things like that. If we saw a fight between yourselves, we could have a very interesting press conference and sing along between the two of you.
I personally think I've got him in that regard. I made top 50 Australian Idol second season, all that sort of stuff. So I have no problem in having a sing off. It is what it is, man. He basically said to me in that press conference he had for the Ustinov fight, he was going to fight me.
Yep.
And he looked straight at me and pointed at me and said, I will fight you if I become champ, and because I know you will turn up, all that sort of stuff, and I definitely will turn up. So it's something that I'm looking forward to in the future. Whether for title, this, that, and the other, whatever happens, I still want to fight Fury no matter what.
Absolutely, and staying in the UK, David Haye making his comeback against an Australian in Mark Demori. What are your thoughts on his return to the division, and is that a good thing for the heavyweights?
Yeah, I think so for sure. He's one of those people where the press follows him, everyone follows him, so it brings an element of excitement back to the heavyweight division, which is awesome. You can't sort of buy that. So same with Tyson, like he's a dickhead most of the time, but he honestly, everyone watches and everyone comes to the fight, so it's a good thing in that way. With Demari, I've sparred him a few times. He's from Perth. Yeah. I was over in Perth for a while. I sparred him a few times. He's very good. He was locked up with Don King for a while with the contract and stuff, so he's off that now. He does have a killer left rip, so no doubt he's going to be going for the left rip. He does a lot of power stuff, like in terms of power lifting and all that sort of stuff, so he's a short, nuggety sort of fella. So I think personally, Haye's going to have a lot, too much speed and power, well, not so much power, but too much speed and agility for him. Yeah. But again, we were wrong about Fury, so I think it will be a good fight regardless. Yeah. He's got a decent chin. He's not no mug, so to speak. So it's going to be a tough night for Haye regardless. Absolutely.
And as always with the heavyweights, one punch can change everything.
Yeah,
so
100%.
It's always that risk. And then still in the UK, like I say, heavyweight division over there really strong at the moment. We had Dillian Whyte and Dante Joshua on December 12th. Yeah. Much better fight than I think a lot of people anticipated. It looked like it was going to finish early. Dillian came back and rocked him. Very, very interesting to watch. What were your thoughts on that fight and those two in general and their kind of progression?
First off with Dillian, I basically thought if he came in fitter and like just ready to go, I don't think he was ready to go 12 rounds regardless with like Joshua's pace and the punches. I think he was ready to go 12 rounds and stop throwing those silly little whatever punches they were throwing. He would have really troubled him. Like he rocked him, and Joshua went real stiff and went always back to oh my god, what's going on, sort of thing. And someone like myself who would have pounced on that and would have given him the 3-4 more punches, could have put him away. So it is one of those things where Joshua was supposed to answer a lot of questions. I think all it's done is really sort of asked a lot more in regards to chin and stamina and all that sort of stuff. So I think I'd like to have a fight with Dillian Whyte at some point. It'd be a good sort of test for me, and a lot of people just come out straight away. As soon as they fight, it's like, oh, why don't you fight Big Daddy Browne? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? So it is an indication for everyone else to see where I'm at to fight someone like that, who obviously Joshua has fought. I think myself and Joshua are on a collision course at some point, at whatever time, you know what I mean? Obviously, I don't think he's ready just yet. I think he's got a long way to go, and I think he's going to be a future star without a doubt, no doubt about it. But it's going to be big things for him in the future.
Definitely, it was a big step up for him, I think, and he answered the critics. He took a big shot, recovered, so we know he has got a chin on him. And then moving away from the UK finally, but still within the heavyweight division, Deontay Wilder's got a fight coming up with, and the name escapes me.
Spiltka.
That's it.
Yes.
Obviously,
my doppelganger, just a little bit smaller.
So I mean, since he won the title, De Harpers, now Spiltka, what are your thoughts on the opponents that Deontay Wilder's facing after the criticism he got before winning the title? I kind of expected him to maybe take on some big names now to sort of put that to bed, but we haven't seen it. Do you think we'll see Deontay Wilder in a big fight this year, or is he being just managed too well?
I think it's 100% management, and they're very smart about what they're doing. They're making him millions of dollars while waiting for him to get knocked out, basically. It's one of those things where he does not have the chin at all, and everyone knows it. He's got great power, great length, this, that and the other, all that sort of stuff. He's not really a technical boxer. He throws windmills and almost makes himself fall over when he throws them. But when he hits, and it is effective in that regards. So I think management-wise with De La Hoya and all the rest of it, they're doing a great job getting him millions of dollars, keeping him the champ while he can. I think Povetkin's going to put him away. If not, someone with a big hit's going to do it very soon.
Excellent. And speaking of big hits, last weekend we saw Luis Ortiz win the interim version of the regular belt that you'll be fighting for.
Yes.
I know you two have had some back and forth on Twitter in the past with with his drug issues. Brian Jennings looked decent against Klitschko, but Ortiz really just really took him down and broke him down.
He's obviously a big, strong boy. He's Cuban, so he's got that natural strength, everything else. And he's a lefty, which really stuffs people up. It puts a spanner in the works. So I think it's a great fight for me and him to have at some point. I believe, from my point of view, with the contract, Quendo would have first choice if I do win it. So that's in there already. And then he's obviously mandatory for my title, etc., etc. So. However, whatever plays out, I think it's definitely something that's on the cards.
That's it. I mean, it might not be around the corner. I say you've been mandatory for about 18 months, so it could be a while before the WBA force that.
Exactly.
All right, we'll let you get off. I know you've had a few hours training this morning, and keen to get off on Christmas Eve. Obviously, wish you the best for Christmas. We'll catch up with you in the new year. Catch more of this camp, and we'll wish you all the best until then.
Expect more songs and things like that, because at the moment, basically, my missus and everyone's over in Perth, and I'm sitting here by myself going nuts. It's only going to be a good thing. I'll be able to take all the stupidity out on Chagaev when I actually get there, and I'm going to be an absolute lunatic, which is going to be fun.
Can't wait to see it. Cheers, Lucas. Thanks very much for your time. We'll catch up with you very soon.
Sweet.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.